Hi, I'm HappyHippos. I'm a GM support, and today we're going to have a coaching video of a mid-plat game, basically just critiquing what they have. There wasn't a specific question on like certain comps or anything like that, so it's just going to be general coaching, things I see wrong, and also some more ways to improve aim, I guess is a better way to put it, and more things to have checked off. Because basically it's a game percentages. You're not going to hit every one of your shots, but if you can increase your chance to hit each shot, it really helps a lot. Um,
So I
so
uh, I heard
aim,
Buddy's gay or
so
something.
loud. Um, you're going to see a lot in this game that aim is kind of an issue, as well as positioning. I'm noticing a lot in plat games that positioning seems to be like
That's
the
pretty
big deal
sad if you're
breaker,
considered straight.
and the big
Oh,
problem
Took you a while to come
that
up with
games are
that one.
having
He waited. He sat. He
I
thought.
had
is
space
just
for
really
my
odd
microphone.
positioning.
Give me some credit. I
You
had
had
a
to
big
think
So
about it.
you're gonna see here the team itself isn't not coordinated, but they're not grouping together. They're not fighting as a unit, especially, but they would have a good like point comp, or they would do well if it was a high elo game to all be together on point. You can never control your team, so just remember we're focusing on proving ourselves. But that's something we can do differently
On the
to
point.
improve the
Probably on
game,
point.
because you can't control everybody. There's always going to be throwers, always going to be leavers, always going to be some guy who's lost 4 games. He's going to be upset and try to yell at you because he's losing. So or she. Um, so really, it's just we're gonna focus on personal improvement for this video, things you can do to improve your aim, get better. First off, I would change the reticle. Um, if the reticle it works for you, it's fine. I don't see how you're using it other than just like a close wear. Right here, Mercy's 2 feet from you, and you're focusing the Pharah. Um, that's just you need to work on your target prioritization. And an easy way to look at it is think of healing as damage the support is doing. Is the best way to get it, like as a thought in your head. So imagine
Oh, there he
Mercy's
goes.
beam, she's doing that much damage to you, because every damage she heals is damage that you did that no longer counts. So if you think of it as damage that her beam is doing to you, you see that Mercy's beam is really important to get. Also, your positioning on the point. Yeah, you're super secure because you have like the wall at the top of your shield. No one can really shoot you from behind it, but you're not touching the point. If you notice, the end of the point does not touch the wall. It's right in front of where your shield is. So while you're standing behind your shield, you're not going to be able to contest the point, even though you are on it. And you're going to see later that's going to get you. And it's going to bite you in the butt in a bit. So just keep that in mind. Know where the
Snooze,
ends
dude.
of the point are. They keep it
Put the
away from the
beast to
falls for the
sleep.
reason. So it's always going to be like, I don't know the size ratios in Overwatch, but half a foot, a couple inches off the wall is where the boundaries for holding a point are. To abuse, like a Mei just kind of hugging a wall and sitting there, you got to make sure you're in the point. So make sure you know the boundaries. I'd recommend changing the reticle into something that helps you aim. I like the crosshairs, for example, because if someone's moving to left or right, the crosshairs give me a good
What a bitch.
size scaling. That's funny though. I like that ultimate. um, the crosshairs give you a good size of more or less like a distance, a good way to tell, because your crosshairs don't change, and as you get used to that crosshair, you're gonna see, oh, they're X amount of feet from the right point of my crosshair, so you know where to compensate, especially on Orisa where she's projectile. Also, you have it's like a light machine gun, more or less. A lot of bullets, so really don't feel afraid to fire up unless you're planning on getting nanoed or planning about to use your ult, because you have a bunch of damage. See, like right here, you dropped your ult and then reloaded. So you missed out on about 2.5-3 seconds of damage boosted light machine gun fire. Damage you could have done just from not thinking and getting the most out of your character. The only difference between the professionals and you is how you play the character, because their Mercy has the same stats as your Mercy. She heals the same amount that you heal, but somehow they, are working with their knowledge outside of just their character's, innate ability to get things done. So the personal improvement, definitely work on your aim if you're gonna be playing Orisa more. I find leading them. I don't know, like in video games, you'll see, like especially in space games a lot, they have like a little reticle where if you shoot that reticle, it'll kill them. So make sure to definitely give a lot more lead to your targets. Uh, that's why projectile heroes usually have more damage, because it's expected that they're not going to learn everything or land every shot just because it's impossible. You can't predict if someone's going to go in a straight line or not, but you can definitely land a shot if they maintain that straight line. And that's also why AD spam is really a problem in high level matches. AD spam is basically pressing your A and D really, really fast back and forth and crouching if they can do it. It's really annoying to deal with because any projectile hero is going to have a hard time. And even hit scan just because left and right, like physics don't really apply the same as real people. Right here, notice you're not contesting the point. You're fighting on the point, but you're not contesting it. So they got a free tick off of just poor positioning, I guess. And you didn't lose the round or anything like that, but it makes it that much easier for the next push. They only need 2/3 instead of one, a whole point. And that's really gonna stack up against you if you keep letting him get free things like that. Just more consciousness, I guess, is a better way to put it. More consciousness on, oh, I'm gonna ult. I want to make sure my gun's reloaded before I ult. That's why if you have an Anna and Orisa, Anna, if she's gonna damage boost you, which she really shouldn't, she should be damage boosting a DPS. But if she needs to boost an Orisa, for whatever reason, she usually confirms like, oh, Orisa, reload your gun. I'm gonna Anna boost you. Or she'll just watch and make sure that you've just reloaded, and then she'll boost it in a high level. A little bit, they keep track of it because, especially Nano Boost that even has an even shorter time period, you really want to make sure you get the most out of it. And if you spend half of the Nano Boost just reloading, not even shooting, it's basically wasted. A huge ultimate that could be playmaking. Other than that, your team's okay. It's just kind of like a rumble fest right now. Not really any coordinated tricks or anything. Again, you're not on the point. You're getting her just free distance. So when you step off, you have a lot less wiggle room. You guys won the fight, so you guys are good. See, but look how close they are to getting to another third from really not much pressure on the point itself. It's just no one's on there to contest it. Just keep an eye on that, and it's going to help you a lot. So let's say like they didn't get any further than this. Now you have to get 2/3 when really they shouldn't have had any if you were just standing on the point, because you were shooting on point. You were right there. But let's say they don't take it, and then you go to attack. Now you have to take 60.8% instead of just getting 1/3. And it's every little bit counts, especially as you get higher up. One bad play can lose the game in a high ranked game. Make sure to minimize your chances of like not throwing, but dying for no reason or wasting anything for no reason. You always want to have a good cost. Another thing to improve your aim, make sure you have a decently sized mouse pad. I got mine for like $2 on Amazon. It's a fantastic deal. It's really worth it considering a small mouse pad really hinders your ability to aim. There you go, now you're on point. You use your ult kind of weird because you don't have a shield to protect it. It would have probably gotten destroyed anyway because Reinhardt could have swung on it. But it's really smart to time your shield cooldown with your ultimate. The logic being, if I put down my ultimate with no shield, it'll die instantly because someone can shoot it. And you just want to make sure shield then ultimate. Because it's honestly just going to give you a lot more value. Because it's separate. It's not like a tracer bomb where you throw it and it's done and you can't stop it. You can destroy the Diva bomb or the Orisa damage boost. The Diva, you're using Matrix a lot on trash damage. So you should be eating bullets there for Mercy. You're out of Matrix. You're low because you did use a lot of it on, just kind of meaningless damage or empty damage. You could have just taken it, stepped back, and let Mercy heal you up, give her some ult charge, and you're fine. But, Mercy died just from the low shield amount, and I don't know if you could have saved her because she was really out of position with you. But you could have it could have been a closer, closer to maybe surviving. Also, I see your computer's running pretty well at 60 FPS as well as recording. And you're playing on, pretty nice graphics, or better than I play on. So definitely try to keep your FPS over 120. I don't know if I just
Oh,
noticed
that's
that,
just like a
actually.
Steven thing.
Let me see if I'm
Like
just dumb.
nobody else.
Okay, no, it's just like that's just a loading screen that was 60. Okay, fine. Yeah, keep it above 120, especially if a 120 hertz or more monitor. I play on 70 just because my computer can't really handle it. Hopefully the videos take off, but it's good to keep it over 120. It gives you a better point of view, and especially with a little higher, I find medium graphics the best if you're playing competitive. When you can, just because low graphics at a distance, it makes it kind of hard to see
Oh, that's just like a Steven
whoever
thing.
the small frames are. So you'll
Like,
confuse like a
nobody else
Moira,
does that.
a Widowmaker, and someone else skinny, a lot more on lower settings at a distance. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I
your
try to
settings
hold
look
it
fine
for
to
you.
me. Your
Don't jump
crosshair's a
yep.
little funny, but honestly, whatever works. There's people
Yeah.
that play with like big
And they all
bricks on
group
their
up at
screen,
the
but
thing,
it makes them
and it gives
happy.
you the ult.
Um,
Yeah.
get a mouse pad. I noticed
yep.
because like your aim is like, I don't know if you see my mouse, but you'll go. I'll just put it in the paint. You're aiming, and then you're aiming, and then you stop like here, and then you're lifting your mouse again. So instead of being able to cross a large distance with your mouse, it's like you're going there, and I think you're hitting like the edge of a mouse pad, and then you have to lift up your mouse again and then go back. Like this is just static that you can change. Instead of one smooth line across, it's like hit the edge of my mouse pad, let me pick up, let me get up, go back, it's these points. If anyone walks into there, that's shots you're missing. For just the mouse pad getting in your way. You don't need a huge table mat, but just a larger than normal, just gaming mouse pad. Amazon, $3. Perfect. That's all you need. But I mean, everything else looks good.
So we should be
your
solid.
your
I mean, we
team's
have
working
Somber
together.
Widow. Should be fucking pretty solid pushing in.
Working together ish. The comp is a little weird.
Oh yeah, they're DPS. They needed to switch to like Reaper, like so badly.
I'm sorry about that.
I mean, they're plat, dude. They literally have
Yeah.
2 golds and a diamond on their team. Like, it's actually...
I also wouldn't judge a ranking too
well,
much.
dude, diamond's literally
I was
retard
stuck
tier.
in diamond for a while, partially because I couldn't play as much, and also
Like, I'm not even being
just
edgy, it's actually
it was
shit.
a super dive meta. Everyone's playing Tracer, Genji, Winston, Diva, and I'm playing Zenyatta. So like you're focused real heavy, and in lower elos you don't protect your supports as much as you
Yep.
should.
Yeah,
but
literally. Literally.
I think being overconfident might hurt you in the long run if you ever listen to people like that, where they're this rank, they suck, it's an easy win. It could be a smurf, it could be a whole bunch of things. It could be some guys at his house and that guy's a GM. It could be any number of things for why that guy's gonna
Top
kick your
500
ass.
gets its own
So
custom spray, if you see it.
I wouldn't get too confident and say things like that. It's just begging for.
It's a gift. It's
You also
like
use
animated.
you use your shields really long. That's like another reason. So like, okay, you're taking a little bit of poke damage there. That's fine. Especially because of Sombra thing,
they're
and
on
she hasn't
Reaper
been nerfed yet. I think at the recording of this video, so you're doing fine.
Yo, I'm gonna try to break this barrier.
You definitely want to keep more than half of your
Oh,
Diva
you ran around?
matrix though.
Shit. Hey,
Since
well, I'll just stay here.
in my last video I made a comment on it. It's kind of long, but basically, Diva and Winston are strong tanks not because of their tanking ability, as in how much
Come on.
damage they can take, but because of their impact they can have. So, like Diva's impact. Let's like rewind here to your Diva. Right before you get trapped. Your impact is your matrix. That's your big playmaking thing of why Diva's so strong. Even after her nerf to her matrix, where they gave her missiles and all that in armor, her matrix is still that's her strongest point because it eats everything. So Diva's strength is that she has a situational damage barrier, and that's gonna protect you from the big important damage, and you're using your damage a lot, or your matrix a lot, on just small things. Just a Moitra beam, which you can't block anyway, some Orisa damage, and don't forget armor
God damn it.
mitigates 5 damage
My
per
hero!
damage
Oh,
unit. So let's say you launch 1 bullet at a diva and it does 10 damage. If it hits armor, it's gonna do 5. That's why armor is different than health. That's the difference, and diva's mostly armor. So Orisa shooting a diva, yeah, you get a bunch of hit
They gave up
markers
their,
and you can get a lot of
their tank,
headshots,
their
but
shield
unless you're
tank,
basically
first.
getting headshots, you're doing half damage, and a headshot's just gonna be normal damage,
Oh,
or close to it. So your strength is, don't really try to worry about eating the garbage damage. See, more about orbs. That's a big thing to eat because it can harass your support.
reloading or
If your teammate gets hooked by a Roadhog, definitely you want to try to matrix out if you can. If you're playing Dive, the Winston, make sure you keep a full matrix for him, because Winston's pretty fragile as a tank. He's more like just a large health DPS, really. So just keep an eye on that. You want to keep the Winston alive if you're ever playing Dive. Reaper, good thing to eat bullets on. It's always good, especially when it's close. But your matrix usage, I guess, is like your biggest improvement on Diva. Your team's kind of scattered, so I can't really comment too much on positioning. You're a tank, you're trying to get on the point, you're trying to clear away. Your team's not too grouped up too much, and you don't really have like a big point comp besides just Mercy healing everybody on point.
Yo, I'm gonna set it up for you.
Or just getting a pick and killing everyone. Your Sombra died, so I wouldn't have gone in. I guess that's a big thing that you might want to work on. It's working out because the other team also had very bad positioning, but as you get higher up, you're gonna notice that people don't fall for diva bombs as they do now. Or if they do, like, you just charge Zarya. They have better positioning, so they're probably around the corner. They can hide. Stuff like that. So definitely work on the awareness as well. Is the best way to put it. But you guys took the point pretty easy. The other team was really staggered. That diva didn't touch the point, even though she should have. She should have just walked on, then started shooting. Especially since she had her ult.
Hey,
If
his
you
name
just
was
saw her
Steven.
use it. But as your gameplay, let me just pause it when I paint. As your gameplay, what you want to do is, as Orisa, let's say the point is here, they're gonna have the walls. Let's put them in red. The walls around. So like this is the walls of the point, and the actual objective lines are gonna be slightly off of them. It's not gonna be on the wall. And so when you're contesting the point and you're standing here, you're putting on the presence like, oh yeah, I'm definitely defending the point, but you're not on it. So you're just gonna lose the basically objective time. That's how you got 1/3 of the point lost for no reason. They got on it. You were on it, so your teammates think, oh, she's contesting. Orisa's contesting, but no one's on the actual point. No one's in this, the barrier. So they just had free 1/3, and then the tracer came in to kill somebody, and that's when you guys actually contested it. So definitely work on, I guess, situational awareness. You used your diva bomb after your Sombra was dead. At a high elo, that would just be a reset. Like around diamond rank is really when I started noticing that a pick is a forced reset because you're going to lose either way. But as you improve, accuracy is your number one thing on Orisa, because if you miss your bullets on Orisa, you're basically dead. No bullets landed equals no damage, and no damage is equal to dead. So for Orisa, what you want to do, let me just clear this and show you what I do. To practice Orisa's aim, we're gonna have like 2 screens. One has a guy way in the distance over here. Let's say it's a Reaper. He has his guns forward and he's walking sideways. And then you have the Reaper closer. Here's his guns out. So let's say like you're both seeing it. Here's your bullets and stuff like that. Your ult. And here's your reticle. I like the cross because it gives me a point of reference. So if I see my cross here, I know he's close. So I kind of have to aim. I know if he's walking this direction, he has the same constant speed. So as a reset, I don't want to aim like right here because my reticle gives me an exact frame. of where I want to shoot. So I'd aim right here to shoot the Reaper in the head because he's close. So it's just the distance it takes for the bullet to go in the same time it takes for his head to move onto the point. And as he's farther away, this is like why I like the reticle. It's still the same size, pretend these are copy pasted. I'd want to aim, further over here because I know on my reticle, once you get used to what your reticle is, okay, it sees it's farther away, it takes longer for my shot to go, and so you have to aim further away. It's just the logic of it. That's practice. Just go to the training range, shoot the dummies that are going left and right. So you'll see there's like a little barricade here, and then you hear little dummies going left and right. There's like a little wall here halfway, so you can see a dummy over here. And they walk out of like the room with all the doors. Definitely go in there because there's like stairs here, so you can get practice shooting on like an upslope, shooting behind cover, and shooting close range is the purpose. Shooting a moving target, close range, medium range, long range, and then at an angle. Orisa has no damage fall off for her bullets, so really you wanna, if you can land at long range, you do a lot of damage because no one thinks about Orisa. One, because she's not that popular in the super high levels, because she's kind of immobile, so it's a specific comp that works with her. It's like an Overwatch League, a professional match. It's a specific comp that Orisa belongs to. In high elo or high SR solo queue, Orisa has her place and very stationary. That's her strength. So I guess since you play Orisa, I might as well cover this. You have Orisa and you have Reinhardt. They're both shield tanks, right? But the difference between Orisa and Reinhardt is Orisa has her shield on cooldown, a 9-second cooldown, I believe, and Reinhardt's is his right mouse button and it's attached to his arm. You can shoot your shield, and shielding per second, shield over second, is higher than Reinhardt's because you can shield, and if your 900 shield's destroyed, you can plant another one. Now you have 1800 total shielding. Reinhardt's has 2000, and if he has it up, it's not charging. So that's like putting down a shield, and as long as that shield's up, you're not having a cooldown go down. And the big difference is Reinhardt's mobile. He's a big mobile guy. He's old, but he's quick and he's strong. Orisa, her whole thing is that she stands there. It's like a Bastion comp. That's why Orisa's used in a Bastion comp. One, because she can damage. That's a D. She can damage from where she is on the point, which is just like another bullet hose shooting at the other team. And two, because Reinhardt does less shielding per second. So that's why Orisa's used in Bastion comps. Reinhardt he's mobile, and his ultimate is more impactful in a fight because it's a hard crowd control. You knock them down, they make them prone, so they can't move, and they take a little bit of damage, but it lets everyone else finish them off. So that's his strength. He's fast, you can't dive past it, and he can move with the team. He can just raise his shield and walk forward. Put a shield up, walk forward, nothing's getting through. Orisa's strength is that she's so stationary, but that's also her weakness. Orisa, let's say you're in a choke on Volskaya, because Volskaya is easy to draw. You have like the truck here, and the building, big health kit, small health kit, and you're coming in. This is attacker, attack, and then defense. With an Orisa, if you put your shield here, all the other team has to do is get past this shield, and enter this zone. That's because, let's say blue is like the zone of safety. Everything in this zone is safe by her shield because the shield's blocking everything in this zone. All the other team has to do is come in and push past this point because it's on a 9-second cooldown. They have a 9-second window where Orisa, when she has her shield here, is probably standing right here, and her team, there's a little forklift over here, so her team's standing in this area. Let me just make this black. Her team's more or less standing in that area. If you can get past the shield, because it's immobile, one, Orisa's alone, and she's a really big head, so she's going to be dead. And if Orisa's dead, they probably have an off tank like a Roadhog, Because Arita Roadhog, you know, you launch the Orisa bomb, and then the Roadhog hook pulls in behind the shield, and you kill a person. Let me just delete that. Boop, boop, boop. So if you get past the shield, you kill Orisa because she has no ability besides just walking, and Fortify reduces damage for when they do break the shield. But you know, you can't out heal 6 people shooting an Orisa in the head point blank, even through Fortify, unless you have like a Transcendence. So Orisa's gonna die once you get past the shield, and you have 9 seconds. So now she's dead. Their shield's gone. They probably have a Roadhog with her, maybe a Ryan if they're rolling like a Bastion or something. But they're all gonna be in this corner behind a Reinhardt. Let's say if they have a second shield. That gives your team the opportunity to just run in and shoot and go on this side of the point. Now they just have a Reinhardt. And that's, or if they have a Reinhardt, it's there. If not, it's an open point. That's the drawback of Orisa, is that she can't move at all. She's like always making a final stand. Once you get past it, she's done. So that's what you need to focus on Orisa, is creating a threat. And that's why her ultimate isn't a hard CC. You know, Ryan has Shatter. Orisa, on the other hand, has her Supercharger. Her Supercharger is awesome for charging ultimates. That's, you know, that's why I think they named it Supercharger. Obviously, you boost your team's damage, but the whole Supercharger point is that it buffs basic attacks. You know, just damage in general. It's like a team-wide Mercy Beam almost. And what's good about that, basic damage is what charges your ult. So like Reinhardt, when he shatters, he has like a 3-second window until you get up where he gets no ult charge. Or else he'd, you know, just chain shatters all day, because he'll shatter, beat 4 people who just shattered on the ground, get his ult back because it's 7% per swing. And, you know, he'll have, you know, 70% at the start of the next fight. Supercharger, I like to use it to charge my team's damage as well as hold. So the best example is, let's say I'm Volskaya again. Here, let me just redraw it real fast. Should use the opening, the car, forklift, and then the point. If the other team's pushing in and you have your Orisa shield here, and you know you're standing there and your team's more or less in this area, if you put your Supercharger down with a fresh shield, not only is it safe from the other teams, you know, friendly teams' guns, your team does a lot more damage. So if they also have an Orisa or a Reinhardt, you'll break their shield way faster. You'll break their shield, and since you have, you know, basically this point of view on the point, you can stop. Oh, this wall goes out further, but since you have that point of view, you stop the push. And that's really what you want to do. You buy, you know, 30 to 40 seconds. Because if you get a kill, it's 30 seconds from the spawn timer, from them walking back from, you know, the point all the way back to the team. If someone gets picked after the fight, so, you know, shield dies, their tank dies, they're running back, and, you know, Mercy gets picked, that's another, you know, 30 to 40. So I like using Supercharger as a zoning tool. Instead of like, oh, let me just do like on Lunar Colony. Let's say you're holding the point here. This is the point. You have, you know, the main gateway, the second floor, the first floor, and then the side with like the health kit, and then the back, and the spawn. And this is like the point area. I like to use it as a zoning ult, so like once, usually people come in through this top right thing because they can also take the high ground, you know, take all this space from you. I like to use it as put a shield, use my Supercharger. The team, you know, is scattered more or less, you know, probably they're in this doorway here, they're in this back area, you know, this zone of safety you just created. That's the best way to climb as Orisa, is use that Supercharger so all of their damage either breaks the shield coming in if they have one, or if they have like a Winston Diva, the combined damage of all of this, or let me make it darker, all of this plus 50% damage is, is gonna kill the Winston and Diva before they can kill your supercharger, or as they kill the supercharger. Since they're both close range, let's say they have to stand, here and everything. They are in such compromise that you can get Diva out of her mech, get the Winston, and break his shield, kill him, and that's how you win the push as an Orisa. It's not like a Pharah ult where you use it and that single action wipes the team. Your victory is you using your supercharger, and the damage it causes makes everything your teammates do much more impactful. And that's the way you should use Orisa supercharger. Put your shield down to keep it safe from just soldiers shooting in it. Winston's damage can go through your shield, but the time it takes Winston to destroy your supercharger through your shield, your team will kill him before. So that's really the ins and outs of Orisa's supercharger usage. I like to use it when you hit shift, you can see, or tab, you can see your team's ult charges. Or you can just ask, like, oh, is anyone who just used their ult? And if it's someone important, like a Zenyatta, a Soldier 76, a Reaper, definitely you want to use Supercharger that fight, and they can get their ult way faster, because they're going to charge it 50% faster that fight, because ultimates, they're gained by, if it's like a Reaper who only does damage, how much damage he does. So he has to do, if it's a number, 1,000 damage, let's say, before he gets his ultimate, not including, the passive generation of it. If you do 50% more damage, all he has to do is 500 damage that fight, and he'll have his 1,000 ult charge, percentage to get it. So Orisa's a really strong pick that people underutilize. And I recommend watching some Overwatch League games. If you ever do it, there's a promotion with Twitch. If you have Amazon Prime and partner it, that you get free Overwatch League tokens if you really are interested. But that's the ins and outs for Orisa. Diva, just watch the last video. I went over it when I was covering the Winston Diva dive meta. There's going to be uploaded at the same time tonight/today. So it's going to be covered more or less, but the base topic is, since Diva's situational and Winston is one and done, Diva's the reason dive meta is strong, because she can enable the Winston, the Genji, the Tracer. I'll just use the first letter. The Winston, the Genji, the Tracer, because he's blading. Diva eats, the sleeps, the grenade, the Soldier 76 visor, basically everything. Diva eats almost every type of damage, harm that can fall on your team, and that's why she's enabling the dive meta so strong. And that's why in season 3 to 4, they nerfed Diva's defensive matrix, which is what she's good for. DM. They nerfed her defensive matrix and released Anna, and that's why quad tank came in. The 4 tanks. Just because Anna's nano boost still gave a speed boost and all that. And then once they fixed Diva, as they gave her more armor and the missiles, that's when we went back to Divish around like season 5. But that's why like season 3 and 4 are like hailed as like the best seasons, just because they were different than every other, where it's just dive all day, where oh Genji, okay, oh Tracer, oh Winston, oh Diva, wow, unique. So that's why season 3 and 4 were favored, because dive was fun, because you can do like a Reaper and a Junkrat, and just more, you have more options basically for doing a non-dive comp. But dive is strong because solely Diva carries. Diva carries, and she's super strong. She's even stronger now because Moira's a close range healer, so she has to get close to her team. So a Diva one-on-one with a Moira, a Diva will win if they're medium range or closer, and a Moira runs at longer range. But Diva's damage is more or less equal to Moira's self-sustain, so it's really just who has the advantage or who was worse off when the fight started. But that's really the end of what critique I can apply on the self-improvement in the foremost, the whole point of the beginning of the video. The self-improvement, basically, there's like the mental parts. So like the mental parts, you really want to just avoid getting, toxic. And that's just not letting people get to you, because you're always going to have a lever, always a thrower. Some guy lost 5 in a row. He's upset because he went from 2550, he's down to 2200, and he's furious because now he's with these scrubs, even though the same elo. He's scrubs and they suck, but he's in the game with them, so like he doesn't realize that he must also suck if he thinks everyone else sucks. So it's just people like that where they're just upset and they're taking it out on people anonymously over the internet. There's just a mental part that is just going to be all you. The physical, aim, get a mouse sensitivity and stick to it. It's going to take you like a couple weeks to get used to a mouse sensitivity, even like the slightest change. Because let's say I want to move my mouse a quarter or part of my screen, so I have to go this much distance. If I change the sensitivity, like I can do with my mouse because it's customizable, and I do the same movement, it's going to go off the screen. So, pick one sensitivity, stick to it, don't swap for heroes. Keep it steady, basically, consistency. It's muscle memory that's going to get you there. It's not going to be how much brain power you throw in the game, because if you've seen some pro games, there's some stupid people that are really good at the game. Another thing you want to do is make sure your mouse pad and your frames per second, your FPS, are a decent, comfortable setting for you. 60 plus, ideal. Yeah, that's honestly what I need. I play at 70 because my computer's old. Your video, you had over 120, so that's perfect. 120 is the goal, because after that, you're just kind of, exacting. You're getting like a marginal return. But the difference from 60 to 120 is noticeable. 120 and above is, not really. Or not as much, You can spend $300 more on a laptop screen or a monitor that does 5 FPS more, over 120 hertz. It's not going to get that much bang for your buck. So 60, 120, between there, solid. Mouse pad, make sure it's comfortable. Have your mouse speed. So let's say there's your mouse pad and you have a mouse in the center. You want to make it so you know the distance it takes to get to the edge of your mouse pad. You really don't need a monster one, a huge table mat like some people have. Just something comfortable for you. I have like a medium size for a gaming mouse pad. As long as you're used to it, you just want to keep everything consistent. Make sure your mouse isn't too bad. Just like the settings of, is it heavy, is it light? If you really want to get into details of that, I prefer like a lighter mouse, I realized, only after having heavier mice. But it really makes no difference. It's a mouse. You can play with a freaking, I've paid with a $4 mouse, so, and that's like a pricey mouse. So, really just get something that you are comfortable with. If you care about how it looks, just get one you like. The mice isn't really the end of the world unless you're in a professional scene where you use it all day, every day. So that's, just a suggestion. Just enjoy yourself. It's a game. You're not doing this professionally. You just want to improve because, hey, who doesn't like doing really well on something they do in their free time? So, your mouse pad, your mouse, make sure your specs, hardware, and everything is running fine. You don't have lag spikes. Make sure your frame rate is steady. You want your frame rate to look the same, whether or not you're in a big team fight or just sitting there. You want it to be steady, so there's no problems with that. But the self-improvement is important. You should see some advancement, at least in your thinking. I recommend watching videos on professionals when they upload videos, and just instead of watching it for the gameplay, oh, he got a quadra kill and did all this crap, look at why they're doing their actions. So you see them streaming and he goes to a spot you wouldn't have done, think, oh, why would he do that, and then see what he does next. And that's honestly how you get into the mindset of it, because you see someone who's succeeding in the game and why they're doing it, and if you understand the why, why they do things, you can understand how people think. And as you get higher up, it's more about what the other people are doing than your own personal things. So, for example, this is just extra now. The self-help stuff is more or less done. I'm just going to go into an extra thing showing how knowing your opponent is more valuable than your own knowing yourself. Like, you should know yourself at that point. If once you pass like Matt Diamond, you know, you should know the mechanics of the game, what to do, more or less the timings of, oh, Soldier has his Helix rocket and a little heal station he drops at his feet. Reaper has Wraith Walk and a little teleport. You should know what every character does and more or less the cooldowns. Oh, it's like a 5-6 second cooldown. It's roughly this time. Knowing your enemy. Know your enemy. That's the important one. So let's say you have. Let's just do Full Sky because it's easier. Because it's easy to draw. You have Volskaya, you have your car, you have a little forklift, and you have the point. Let me just take that line off. Let's say you have Volskaya and you're just sitting there. The best way to show that you know your enemy, and you have, let's see, like this here. Let's make it actually thick, it's much easier. This is the truck, I'm not going to bother detailing. The best way to learn and show that you know your enemy, let's say you're coming in and, a lot of high elo, they come this side, because over here is basically a shooting gallery. You come in and you notice there's a Roadhog on top of the truck. Roadhog just likes to sit on top of there. He is just away from his group who's behind the shield here. That's not... Who's behind the shield there? At Diamond and above, this guy is being weird, and he's looking for a hook. You can tell he's obviously really desperate to see, where am I going to get this hook from? Who's standing out, past the shield? This is the empty area. Who's going to enter this area and get hooked by me? So, you notice what people want to do. Another example, let's say you're on something easy. Let's say like Nubani. This is the point. Here's the little ramp coming up. Here's high ground. And then there's like the second floor. And then, the building. And like a ramp up. And like another hole here. Let's say you're there, and there's the hole here. This is, Numbani first point. Here's the doorway that has like the stairs coming up. And then they shoot down off the point, and here's like the ramp, and there's like a big health kit. And this kind of goes here, and there's a bus and all that. And this is like that. Because it's like the inner hallway. And this kind of like leads like that. If you're defending the point, right? This is the top of Numbani. This is the door. Just shoom, 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 shoom. And then there's like the road here. Is what I'm saying. And the cart. You're gonna want to, if you see a Genji, let's say the other team's going main, and you see a Genji come this way, and he's walking around the back, and he disappears, you can have an honest promise to bet he's coming this way to kill your supports on the high ground. Because he's away from his team. Why would someone be away from the team? Oh, because he wants to get a sneaky kill. He's Genji. And if it's been a while, he might have his blade. And then once he's here and your team is grouped up over here, he's going to kill you. So, knowing how people think is going to be a big differentiator between if you're successful or not. Just logical. Oh, I haven't seen Pharah's ult in a while. She's done a lot of damage throughout the game. She should have it. I'm going to keep an eye out for Pharah. Oh, Pharah's breaking off from her group. She's, instead of going main with her team, she's, sneaking over underneath to the first point, let's say, and you want to watch the Pharah who snuck away from her team because there's 5 here. She's alone. She's just number 1. You can kill her before she gets to where she wants to be. But that's really the end of it. You just want to make sure that you control yourself. No one can control what you do besides you. So definitely, if you have any suggestions, if you think the video sucks, let me know. If you think it's great, also let me know. But yeah, thank you so much for watching.